My name is Arthur Garande, and I'm the chairman of the recently appointed Safeguarding Commission of the Archdiocese of Harare. When the Archbishop appointed us, he asked us to look into the whole area of child protection, child safeguarding in the Archdiocese. Now, this is happening in the Archdiocese of Harare, but in the wider context of the Zimbabwe Catholic Bishops' Conference, i.e. it's happening in the whole church in Zimbabwe. In fact, it's part of what the whole universal church is doing as mandated by the Holy Father. So what we are doing in Harare is simply being consistent with the work of the church worldwide. I think to understand the main purpose of this commission, let's begin by asking ourselves the question: are children safe in and around our church? And when we start to answer that question, we perhaps follow it with other questions. Safe from what? Safe from who? And when we are answering this question, we realize, well, it's easiest to say, are children safe from abuse? But are children safe generally, i.e. physically, emotionally, spiritually? So the world has become aware of the need to consciously safeguard children. And we are part of that world, and we are asking ourselves the same question: how can we consciously ensure that children are safe in our parishes? Are children safe in our institutions, be it schools, children's homes, hospitals? Are we working with them? I think the moment you enter into the space of safeguarding, you are looking at two things or two scenarios. One scenario is, how do we prevent abuse? How do we make it difficult for abuse to happen? That's the first step. The second step is, in the unfortunate event of any form of abuse actually happening, what are the steps that we can take? What are the structures we have in place to guarantee that that situation is addressed appropriately? When the Archbishop appointed the members of the commission, what became very clear as we were coming together was we were drawn from different fields. We have people who are, well, we have clergy, we have religious, we have lay people who are in different fields in society. And I think the intention there is to draw from various levels of competence. And then the intention also is to bring this as far as possible to the grassroots, so that at the lowest level, the members of the church know about safeguarding, but also know about how to get it addressed should they witness it. Our hope is to get everybody actively conscious of safe and unsafe practices, even before any abuse has happened. So it is our intention, hopefully in due course, to actually take training and awareness to the parishes, to the deans, and right through the structures of the church, until everybody is aware of the idea of child protection. It is the duty of every member of the church to be interested in the well-being of all other members, and then including children. So I should care about the well-being of the next person within the church and within the wider society. And that command from Jesus to love my neighbor as myself includes loving the weak, loving the young, loving the vulnerable. And that is why, for me, safeguarding is the work of all in the church. It is important that all members of the church have confidence in what has been established. And for this confidence to come about, there is need for transparency. Transparency in terms of what structures exist, transparency in terms of what processes will be followed, so that people will know, if I am concerned about this, I take my concern to this office or to this person, and I expect to get feedback, I expect to get some form of address in such a time. When people have this kind of assurance, then the work of safeguarding becomes effective. At this stage, what we are concerned with is setting up the structures and the processes. And by doing this, by raising awareness, it is quite possible that cases from the past may come up. And one of the things we hope to establish when we are done is precisely a system or a way of dealing with such cases. So, right this minute, am I prepared to receive a case of a historical abuse? Not yet. But when we are done, perhaps after the next few months, we should know who to involve should we get a report, and what process to follow should we get a report.